What's up, Western Iowa Tech students? This is Mike Brown along with Teresa McElroy, who is the awesome counselor at Western Iowa Tech Community College. What's
That
up,
seems
Teresa?
like a bit of a stretch, but I'll take it.
Hey, we need that help right now, right?
Thank you.
So of course our students aren't on campus, and so instead of you needing to go to Teresa's office, we're going to bring Teresa to you. Also, we got some emails, just at my email asking some questions, and I want to ask you these questions and see if we can get to the bottom of them and get some awesome answers.
All right, I'll take a stab at it.
All right. And then I'm going to put you on the spot at the end of this, and I'm just going to throw some stuff at you, right? And being that you're an awesome counselor, you're going to throw it back at me. So, all right.
You're really building me up. I hope I don't disappoint.
And it's like in that classroom where you're scared to raise your hand, but 9 times out of 10, all the people in the classroom got the same freaking question, right?
Very true.
So these questions that I'm getting ready to ask you is kind of similar to that, Teresa.
Okay.
So here we go. How do I keep my mind? Here it is. How do I keep my mind off not having a job? Is the economy stupid, right? I mean, P, that's the question. Maybe is money. Shoot.
Right. Well, I think for our students, they do have a job, right? They're still students. So their structure and their day needs to continue just as it would if they were coming to campus. I can't stress that enough. They're still students, so they got a job, and we fully expect them to keep going.
Wow, that's a good one. That's a good one. So what you're saying is, hey, this is your job, right? Mm-hmm. This is your job, and it's going to
will pay eventually if we keep our nose to the grindstone.
Pay dividends. Amen. And I think we both are witnesses to that, Teresa.
Right.
All right. Next question. If I'm feeling anxious, what can I do to relieve my anxiety while at home?
Okay. Well, there's lots of things that I could recommend, right? The very first and foremost thing is anxiety comes from the fear of the unknown, right? And there's so many things that we don't know, right now in our world, but there are things we do know, right? How to take care of ourselves, how to practice good hygiene and staying safe and minding what they're telling us to do, like stay home and respect social distancing. I mean, we're both working from our homes. This isn't our gig, right? We're people,
right?
So we like to be out and about, and we like going to WIT, and we like working at WIT, but it's not an option now. So you really got to work on following what's recommended. Stay home, take care of yourself, you and yours, right? I really recommend to-do lists every day. What are the things you got to get done for your classes? What do you got to get done for your kids if you have kids at home? Make to-do lists each day, prioritize them, check them off one day at a time. We're all just checking off one day at a time because we don't know when this is going to end. So we got to stay here, stay in the now. We can't control everything going on around us, so stay in the present.
Amen. I couldn't have done better myself with that answer. All right. That's what's up, Therese. Hey, y'all got to make her earn her money. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up.
Well, I do think, too, that students think we left them alone, right? That we're abandoning them. We're not.
You broke up kind of.
I said, I'm afraid that students feel like they're alone. That's causing anxiety, and that's not the case at all. You can reach out to any WIT person via email, voicemail. We're working. Looks different, but we're checking our voicemails. We're working our emails. So if you need something, you got to let us know. Tutoring, just chatting about your anxiety. Right. Know what resources there are. If you're having financial problems, reach out. Ask Mike, ask me, Michelle Fiechner, all of us.
That generation that, that like social distancing, all that stuff, right? We may have just went out right now. I'm not sure, but hopefully you got that. Okay, we got like 3 more questions. Okay, here we go. If I have no food, can I use Western Iowa Tech's food pantry?
Please and thank you. Yeah, we really stocked up right before all of this got started in anticipation of not knowing how long it was going to go. Comment cupboard's open. You just got to contact WIT security. So you call WIT numbers 274-8733 and then the extension 6414. And they'll make an appointment with you. What's convenient for both of you. Let you in the cupboard.
Yes.
Same deal. You got to bring your WIT ID though. right?
Yeah.
Make sure you have your
Yeah.
WIT ID, and it's for WIT students and employees who need it.
And prepare to get your temperature taken.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So, all right, that was good. All right, here we go. Here's another one. If I feel need, wait, okay. Typos, right? If I feel I need counseling, how do I contact you in between what hours? Do I use your phone extension, email, or some type of social media?
Okay, so for myself, right, you can email me, you can call my office phone. We're checking those all the time. I'm getting them. You can text me, and that phone number is 712-340-9451. I'll repeat it one more time. 712-340-9451. So my office hours are essentially the same, 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. But I work with you. If you have something that you need and you text me and you email me and you call me, we'll find out what works best for your schedule and get you in and talk to you. I'm doing this, right? We'll meet online so you can see my face. And I think that makes a big difference. We can talk over the phone and we can text back and forth. And maybe I'm just old school, but I think this is helpful. I think seeing a face. Yeah. But we'll do what works
I
for
agree
you. And
with
if
that.
that's texting and chatting, we'll do that too.
All right, nice. Last and final question. If things get so horrible and I feel I need to be committed, do I contact you or do I get a second opinion? So if things get so horrible and I feel I need to be committed, do I contact you or can I get a second opinion? Or do
Well,
I
I
get a
would,
second opinion?
right. I guess what I would really encourage you to do is to reach out for help. Okay. So that's me, that's your doctor, that's your mom, that's your confidant. But let somebody know that you are having that much trouble, right? If it's imminent, as in you don't feel like you're safe, you're going to hurt yourself or you might hurt somebody else, then I would just go straight to the hospital, right? In the
Amen.
emergency room, call the police, either or, right? And kind of sort that out. I would like to see you being reached out before you get to that point, though, right? Because all of your resources are still here. I'm here, Mike's here, right? So be asking for help. Be talking to people about your frustration so they don't get that built up.
Let it out.
Yeah, I would love to be able to help you kind of avoid such a situation. But if it's imminent, and you got to take care of yourself and go to the hospital.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So here we go. And I told you I was going to kind of put you on a spot a little bit. I shouldn't even have said that either. I should have just fly blindly into my question.
Right.
All right. So give me 4 to 5 things that a student can use while at home to keep him or her freaking insane, right?
I think keeping that same routine is so important. So if you got up at 7 to get to campus by 8, you should still be doing that, right? If you were an intro to psych from 9 to 10, you should be doing your intro to psych work at home from 9 to 10. It's a very similar routine. Go to bed at the same time, get up at the same time, put on clothes every day, right? Like real clothes, put on your face if you wear makeup. If you don't, just stay in your same routine. It's vital. It's so vital to staying on track and staying motivated on what your to-do list looks like and what you need to get done. That's first and foremost so important.
Wow.
I think the other things that are super helpful, especially since we're transitioning to online learning, is to be vigilant about checking into every class every day, even though it might not meet every day, right? But our instructors, really their most viable way of communicating with you is through your email. And if you're not used to reading email, you're going to have trouble, right? Email is going to be our main way of communicating with you, we being employees and instructors. So even though you maybe not have intro to psych every day, I'd be checking your email every day, right? Because there's lots of information being exchanged. And I think we need to really appreciate what our faculty have been put through all of this, right? This was a big burden for them to transition to all online. And so now they're navigating all those students and all those students' emails coming in that would have maybe normally be asked questions in class when they were face-to-face, and now they're coming in through email. So they're overloaded, right?
Yeah.
But the burden is on the student, really, to stay checked into the class, right? Make sure you're talking to the instructor. If you're having problems, if you don't understand an assignment, if you're not getting logged in or you're having IT issues, you got to be staying in touch. We can't help if we don't know. And we being me, IT, the instructor, right? Stay in touch with WIT. Email is the best way. I think the other thing that's super important in our world right now is really limiting our access to news. Right now, our news is very redundant. It's not always positive, and it's not always accurate, right? In this day and age, we've developed this 24/7 news cycle, right? That's coming at us in all different formats. Social media, news, Twitter, all of that, right? And it's never ending. And we can really get caught up in spending a great deal of time listening to what is essentially the same stuff over and over and over, right? Really, very little of our news has changed.
Right.
Right? It's the numbers are growing, which we knew was going to happen, and they've been talking about that since the beginning of this, right? But to check and watch news all day, every day is not healthy. I would really limit yourself to like maybe 10, 15 minutes in the morning when you're getting ready for your day, and maybe 10, 15 minutes in late afternoon, early evening, not before you go to bed, right? Because if you're anxious, it's going to get your mind going, right? But to watch it 24/7, I feel like is really causing a lot more anxiety for our students than what it's worth, and employees, and everyone, you know. You're really mindful about how much time you're spending on the internet watching stuff that's just getting you all worked up in the end anyway.
Yeah. I would suggest the movie. I would suggest the movie Home Alone.
Yeah. There are a couple of other things to think about, right? So your brain really can only stay focused for about 45 to 50 minutes. That's why class periods are set up on 50-minute increments, because about after every 45, 50 minutes when you're studying at home, you got to get up. Get up out of your chair and do something physical, whether that's taking the garbage to the curb or doing a load of laundry or, you know, playing with your kids, right? But you need to take a break about every 10, 15 minutes. I mean, every 45 minutes for 10 to 15 minutes, okay?
Yeah.
Because that wakes the brain back up again, then get back at studying, right? Stick to that kind of a schedule or routine. And then the very last thing, I'm a huge believer in fresh air, right? Outside, get outside, right? Stay in your social distancing space, but fresh air can make all the difference to anxiety symptoms. You get outside, you take in some deep breaths, you get busy raking the yard or something, raking your neighbor's yard, right? Something. Just be busy and be outside. Inside, we're lucky that this isn't happening in January, right? That would be a game changer.
Yeah, because it'd be cold outside too, right?
Right. I mean, the weather hasn't been ideal, but it hasn't been terrible either. We can live if we get wet. But I really believe getting outside when you're an anxious person really gives you a different perspective. Plus, it makes all the difference in those oxygen level in your brain, which impacts all your hormones and stuff that are causing the symptoms. So stay active, right? Stay physically active. It's super important. You can't just lay around all day. Your mind goes to mush and you start thinking about stuff way too much.
Well, Teresa, let me tell you this. You know, I gotten something from this conversation, right? It's just not the students. Hey, you done just got some things that I can probably do better at. So,
you know, we were talking a little bit earlier about news and all that and social media. So we're lucky that we have the internet, right, to help us stay connected and to be able to engage even at a socially safe distance, right? But that social media can also be a bit of a bugger, because it can be negative and it can be a little discouraging in times of distress. So I would really limit how much social media you're watching that bringing you down. Just pay attention to if it's being helpful or not helpful, right? Because that can be a really tricky thing to navigate right now. It's a blessing and a curse, I always say.
Yeah, that's facts. So,
all right.
Again, help desk is going to be helpdesk@witcc.edu, all one word with the help desk, and their extension is 1461, I believe. So if you do have problems getting on the internet or whatever, also parking lot internet services up at Western Iowa Tech. All you gotta do is pull up to our parking lot. Do not get out the car because of Corona. Corona may jump on you, right? So we want to stay in the car, but you do have access to the internet, and that may be helpful with you continuing your classes. So.
Yeah. And my email is just my first name, right? TERESA.McElroy, MCELROY @witcc.edu.
Yes,
And I'm going to
mine
repeat my phone number one more time if you want to text me, 712-340-9451.
Yes.
Thanks,
All
Mike.
right. That is what's up, and we're thinking about doing this weekly, but we'll get to that when it happens. But I know I can speak for Teresa and myself. We love you guys. Talking to all Western Iowa Tech students, do your homework, get close to your family. Well, get close to your family, but stay social distance. I take that. I don't know. Have a good time, and we'll get through this.
Sounds good. Take care, everyone.